Hello, this is Unknown Void Cat, and welcome back to another Factorio video. And man, I gotta say, it's actually been quite some time since I played Factorio, or since I did my last video, which might be confusing for you if you see my last video, because you'd probably be like, what do you mean? It's been a long time. It's only been, what, 5-ish days since I made the last video? But actually, for me, it was actually been longer than that. And the reason why is I actually wasn't here when that video went public. Because, as you probably know, it was the time it went public was around Thanksgiving. In fact, I think I made it go public on Thanksgiving. And so because it was going to be around Thanksgiving, and because Thanksgiving was coming up around the time I was making those videos, I actually made a lot of the videos. Why did I make that? Whoops, cancel those. I actually, a lot of the videos you've seen were actually made ahead of time. The Factorio the most recent video I have, which is a Factorio video. And then a lot of the other ones, like the Factorio video and then my most recent FTL video, were all made previously because, wait, why is my power not working? They were made ahead of time because I realized that I was going to be going to a relative's around Thanksgiving for a few days, staying at their place to, have Thanksgiving and other such things. So because of that, it has no fuel. Okay. So because of that, I realized I should probably make a few videos to, to have scheduled, go public while I'm gone, because I don't want to be gone for 4 days, because this is a brand new this is still a growing channel, hasn't gotten very many views, so I don't want my channel to go days upon days. Oh, let me end these. I don't need these making. I don't want my channel going days without videos. I feel like that could hurt it, so I made sure to have videos that would be going while I was gone, because I knew it was going to be gone for 4 days, including Thanksgiving. And so that ended up leading to a thing where I was surprised when I came back to see my Factorio video, because I was assuming looking at the last Factorio video, it'll probably get at most maybe 50-60 views, probably more around 10 to 20 like a lot of my other videos. For example, my most recent FTL video got around 9 views. So I was assuming the Factorio video, because I didn't even customize the thumbnail at all. Usually I'll at least instead of having the YouTube choose thumbnails, I'll at least go back into the video and try to choose a screenshot of my own choice and make my own screenshot for a thumbnail. But I didn't do that for this Factorio video because I had to I had to kind of rush a bit to publish these videos, because I was planning on making these videos that I was gonna have scheduled to play during Thanksgiving time. I was planning on making these videos days before I went on break. When I went onto that little vacation with my relatives. But the problem with that is I kind of procrastinated, which is honestly a story of a lot of my life. Sometimes you just procrastinate too much. And so what ended up happening is I procrastinated so much that I realized that it was the day before, the day before I was going to go on my trip. I was day 4 and I realized I had no videos made, none at all. Which I realized was going to be a little bit of a problem. Also, I'm getting so distracted talking, I forgot what I was going to do. Though also, I actually did go. I've kind of forgot what I was going to do because it's been a while since I've played this save. It's been 10 days, so I kind of forgot what I was doing. But yeah, get back. So I procrastinated today. So literally the day right before my break, I was trying to pump out 3 videos, and then also try to upload them, get the audio correct, and merge together, and then publish them. And when you have a video that's an hour long, 45 minutes, I think my Factorio video, or maybe probably my Factorio video, it was an hour something long. So that takes a long time, get made into the right form, get kind of published and stuff, and published on YouTube and upload and do all the stuff with it. It takes a long time for it to get done. So doing that for like 3 separate videos was going to take a long time. So that kind of led to me like staying up to like what, 8, not 8 a.m. It was like 6, 7 a.m. right before I was going to go on a trip, which was a little bad because like I had to like get up a lot earlier. Usually on other days I'm not doing that much on other days. So like it's not that bad if I stay up super late making a video. But like on this day, like I had to leave kind of early to be able to get to the relative's place for like nighttime because other stuff had to be set up. So I had to like be there a bit earlier. So I had to like leave. And so me staying up that late kind of led to an unfortunate situation where like I would end up having to like not get very much sleep, which is a little annoying when you're going on a long trip because, you know, honestly, that's it. I'm not a person that likes to wake up very early. I'm very much a night owl, so waking up early wouldn't be my very favorite thing, especially when I haven't got very many hours of sleep. So not getting that many hours of sleep because I procrastinated was a little bit of a problem. But it ended up like but it was actually great that I still made those videos and didn't just like completely put off making the videos because it got so late. Because I ended up coming back because I didn't see how much. Usually every day when I make a video, I will go check like the day after I publish a video. I'll go check to see like how good did this video today make. I'll like try to see how good it did. And so usually I'll like see a day, like the day right after, you know, how good the video's doing. So I'll have like a good estimate of like, okay, the video's doing this decently. It's kind of stagnating in views, so it's probably going to stay around like this many views. But my second Factorio video, I had no idea how well it was going to do because, you know, I wasn't there. I didn't have access to my computer, so I was completely blind. So it was like a crazy surprise where like I came back after this like Thanksgiving like trip to my relatives. I came back and I was like, is this video like this random Factorio video that I was expecting to do like the same as other videos? It hit like 400 views, which like that's almost I think like it was like 400 something. That's almost like 3 times the size of every other video I made. So it was like kind of crazy. I was like, man, this video popped off compared to other videos, which was like really surprising for me because I didn't have like, because usually you can kind of like have somewhat like an understanding of whether or not a video is going to at least do more decent when you like look at it in the first few hours of video. Like you'll see like, okay, this video is getting a lot more impressions and like initial views than other videos in the first few hours, so it'll probably do better. This video is probably going to like, do pretty good before it, you know, stagnates to stop getting views. It's probably going to get like a decent amount of views. But this time I had no clue if it was going to do good or not because I just wasn't there. Also, the interesting thing is, technically, even if I was there, I wouldn't know because it kind of acted differently than a lot of my videos. Like, a lot of my videos, the way it happens is, like, the first few hours of when the video gets uploaded, nothing really happens, you know? It doesn't really do anything. And then, after, like, 8 or so hours, the video will have a bit of a spike. It'll get, like, the maximum amount of views it'll probably get, and then it stagnates and stops getting views. Maybe you'll get like one view in every like few weeks, but not really much more than that. But like this video was kind of unique in the fact that like it was unique in the fact that like when I looked back at like the analytics and stuff, like this video actually like kind of stayed very low. Like it didn't seem like a video. Like if I were actually there when this video was like being published and I was actually at home to look at this, I would have assumed that this video wasn't going to do very good because looking at it, like it seemed to like start pretty low. Like it wasn't getting very much views in the first few days. Like it seemed like it was going to be doing similar to other videos. But when after like a few days of it doing all that stuff and like kind of doing like okay, it started like kind of popping off. Like it went from like not very much views to, like after a few days it like had this just surge in views where all of a sudden it went from like nothing to like hundreds of views, which was pretty crazy. for me, because it made it like a lot different compared to my other videos, and also just made for like a really cool surprise to see. Is my power off again? I should, I probably should have like an inserter. Yeah, I should probably put like a inserter with coal in it before because I don't have my coal set up down here, so I should probably just put a chest to put coal into this automatically. I completely forgot about that. Because it's using coal more faster now that I have actual 2 steam engines instead of 1. So I should probably go this to this, there. Yeah, just put some coal in there so it actually stays powered. But yeah, what I was saying is like, it was kind of surprising when I came back. It was just like, boom in views. Because I was fully expecting like, yeah, I'll do like 20 views, but like, that's fine. It's like one of my very first Factorio videos. Like, I haven't gotten used to playing Factorio while also talking. I'm not, like, if you're watching this video, you're seeing that it's kind of taking me a long time to do things. Like, it took me so long to realize my stuff were powered off because I'm not really used to playing Factorio while talking. It's still like a very, well, just the thing of like talking and playing a game is still pretty new to me. Because while I have made like a decent-ish amount of videos on like other games like FTL, like if you look, I have like what 26. Yeah, I think like 26 videos on FTL. So I've played a lot of videos on FTL, and all of them were videos that I was talking. But as I've said, like in my second, like as I said in my previous Factorio video, talking in Factorio versus talking in what do I mean? Talking in Factorio versus like talking in FTL is hugely different because FTL, like, it's so fast paced. You're essentially talking about what's happening in FTL the whole time. You're not talking about other things besides game. But Factorio is kind of like slow paced. You're doing repetitive actions, so you need to talk about other things than just the game so that the video stays entertaining. And so also so the video stays entertaining and people are like paying. Because you can't really just talk about what you're doing in Factorio. Because a lot of times Factorio, you're just like, place mine, make mine, place mine, craft mine, place mine. Versus FTL, where it's constantly happening. So like, while I do have experience, talking and playing at the same time in games like FTL, and in fact, I've gotten like good enough that I can actually win and not get so distracted playing the game that I can't even beat the game. So I've gotten enough experience I can actually like play the game and beat it at the same time. The only thing is that it's very different with FTO versus Factorio. So I still haven't gotten very used to doing that kind of like talking about very different topics while also playing a game. I'm still getting very sidetracked, as you see right now. So because of that, like, it took me like a whole hour just to make like this. Like, literally, that's the reason why I titled my second Factorio video the way I did. I called it like, what did I call it? Yeah, I called it, taking a whole hour to make a single power mine, because it literally did take me a whole hour just to make like a single, very simple to make power mine, because I get so distracted talking that I don't even realize what I'm doing. Like, sometimes I'll just be staring at the menu. And so because of that, I was expecting like, that's gonna, for some people it might be a little hard to watch, which I don't blame them, It's going to be hard to watch somebody stumble the words, because I am still getting used to talking on videos. So because of that, I was pretty surprised when it made 400 something views. So now all I gotta do, replicate that success. You see what I mean? All I gotta do is just replicate that success. All I gotta do is just take another hour to do anything again. I mean, technically, whether or not I was talking or not, it would probably still take me over an hour to make a power mine, because I'm kind of slow with this game. Like, as I've said literally last video, like, it took, the farthest I've ever gotten this game off video was making a train, and that took me, like, over a day. Which is crazy considering, like, isn't there an achievement you can get for, like, making trains in only, like, a few hours? Which is crazy for me considering it took me, like, over 10. What was I doing? What was I trying to set up? Oh yeah, I was setting up the coal line. I'm setting up the coal. Oh, I need to set this up. Okay, now that I've set the coal line for the actual coal itself, I actually need to set up another coal line. Why can't I make this? Oh, I never grabbed iron plates. I forgot about that. I need to set up another like fully automated things for copper. Also, I probably need to set this up quick because I haven't really gotten attacked yet. Really, like I think I got attacked once last video by like an insect or two, but not much. But they will probably attack me soon. Like if you're looking at the pollution, it's starting to slightly touch here, so I'm probably gonna get attacked soon. So I really should start to build up. Why isn't this researching? Didn't I click the research button on it? Or did I? Did I or did I not? I can't actually remember. I don't know. Well, I do now. I've hit it now. No, I definitely didn't, because now these are researching. Huh, I must have forgot to. Well, what I was saying is that I'm very slow at this game, especially if I'm talking. Talking only makes it worse, because like I'm getting distracted. I can be very easily distracted, which actually is kind of weird. That like talk about being distracted, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I'm very easily not distracted. I'm hyper focused, and sometimes I'm not. Well, actually, maybe that is the thing. I sometimes focus, which is the reason why sometimes I'm not distracted at all, and sometimes I'm super distracted. Because like, to give an example, I'm so distracted talking that I'm taking a bit of time to like make these machines. But like back in school, there'd be people like back in school when sometimes you'd have how in school sometimes a teacher would like play music and stuff, and they'd be like, and before they do that, be like, and they like try to play music in a test, and they'd be like asking class like, hey class, all y'all good with this? None of y'all are gonna be distracted, right? I don't want to like mess up your test. Like, this is a good distracted test. And like I could never understand that, because like I was somebody who would like be really like iron focused on the test. Like people could literally be like the teacher, like you oftentimes like have teachers be like, when somebody's talking, like after somebody's finishing the test, they'd be like, don't be talking too loud, like people are still taking the test, like don't be rude. And like honestly, that wouldn't affect me at all. Like I could usually, like, even if people are like having full-blown conversations laughing out loud, like I could still pretty strongly hyper focus on my test, which is weird when you consider like I can do that, yet I can't focus on a game while talking. But I guess that's because it's kind of different, because people talking while you are doing a test is pretty different, because that's other people talking, not you. Me talking while I'm playing a game, I guess it's different because I am doing two things at a time, versus when I'm doing gameplay, making a video while talking. That's me doing two different things. Well, I guess so. Yeah, technically, when I'm like getting distracted, technically when I'm doing tests and other people are talking, that's not really me doing two things. I'm just doing the test. It's the other people are talking. So I guess actually it makes sense why like I'm not very easily distracted doing tests while other people are talking, yet I can be distracted when I'm talking. It's because technically that's you doing two different things. So I guess I kind of solved the mystery myself right there. But like I can get very easily distracted if I start talking. Like as I said in the last video with my example, like if I start talking, I've literally had moments where I've ran into walls, I've dropped entire cups of tea on the floor. I can't really think of any other good examples besides the ones I gave last video. Like I can't really think of any fun examples, but those are that's the main things. Actually, I can think of another example. Like before, I have. What was it? Yeah, before what I've done is I will get a food. Like if I start talking to somebody while I'm making a food or something, I'll like get a food that's meant to go in the fridge, like start throwing it in the freezer. Or like I might even or for example, I might end up let's say I'm putting up a plate. Like I just ate a dinner. I'm going to the kitchen to clean off a plate, put in the sink. I might, and I'm scraping off some of the leftover bits of food into a trash can. If somebody's in the kitchen and I'm talking to them, I might end up just completely I might just throw my the entire plate or sometimes not even plate, just like utensils. I might throw all the metal utensils like into the trash can, and I have to like fish them out because like I get so distracted because there's like somebody's there. Like I start talking and I completely forget the task I'm doing, and I just go like autopilot mode is the thing, which could end up very easily leading to me. I don't want to do this like this. I need to reverse this. I don't think this is actually the way it should be going. Yeah, reverses around. This is the wrong way. Because this is gonna hit the coal if I go this way. I need to reverse it. Yeah, what I was saying is like I can get very easily distracted talking, which can lead to me not focusing as much on the thing. So I'm trying to like stop that. I'm trying to like train my ability to talk and do two different things, because talking and doing two different things is a very essential skill for being a YouTuber. At least if your YouTuber talks or so. But like, I couldn't be a YouTuber who couldn't talk, because like I feel like to be a YouTuber who doesn't talk, your content has to be good enough to make up for the fact that you're not talking and you don't have really anything else. Like you can't be like I feel like you can't like just not talk and just have like just the video itself do the work for you, unless your video has something to bring a lot about it. Because I'm just playing games. I'm not going to be doing like some amazing art, amazing music, amazing, I don't know, tricks or something. So like I gotta talk, dude. I gotta provide some other kind of value. So to do that, I gotta get better at talking, doing other stuff. And this is the reason why I've started this Factorio video, these Factorio series, is because it's like a perfect game to try to learn to do that. Why can I? Oh, this thing. Oh, it's dead, and it's a dead tree, so I have to still break it. Oh, so I don't want to go this far actually, or do I? How do I want to do this? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start bringing it down here, and then I'm gonna start mines over here. Furnaces. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna do this. And so that's one of the big reasons why I want to do Factorio, because, well, FTL is great. FTL is a great game. I liked it, which is honestly surprising considering I actually never really played it very much before. I never really played it very much before I started doing videos. Like, I rarely played it. So, honestly, surprising that I've done so many videos and I actually started, like, really liking it when I started making videos. So, FTL is great and all, but, like, it doesn't really train my ability to talk and play games at the same time because, as I said before, you can just talk about the game. You don't have to talk about other things, which is a lot more distracting. Like, talking about the game while you're playing the game. Talk about the game while you're playing the game still keeps you in the game. Like, you're not going to get distracted from playing the game because you're still talking about the game. But talking about other stuff while you're playing the game is distracting because you're going to get so busy, like, thinking about that other stuff and trying to, like, think about what to say that you stop doing the game properly. So that's why Factorio, which kind of requires you to talk about other things in the game, considering there's not much going on, ends up serving as a perfect training exercise. Plus, I just like Factorio. I haven't played it very much off camera, but besides games and trains, but it's such a cool game. Like, I understand why so many people love this game, because there's just something about it so charming. Which is, because like, I've actually thought about getting this game for like over a few years. For a few years, I've always thought about getting this game, but I never did. I always spent my money on the DLCs for Stellaris and buying other games. Because while I always looked at it, I was like, I don't really know if I want it. Like, it looks cool, but like, I don't really know if it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be that good. But then I actually played it and actually got it because I had like got some money for like a gift or something. And so when I finally actually got it, I'm like, man, I should have gotten this sooner because this is actually like really good. Like, this is such a good game. Like, I actually realize how good it is. Like, honestly, I think the perfect thing to like compare it to is like Undertale. Like, Undertale, I essentially knew before I played Undertale. I knew the entire story of Undertale before I started playing Undertale because, so many people have made videos on it. So when I first started playing Undertale, like, I assumed, like, this game's probably, like, overhyped. Like, it's probably not that good. Like, I've seen videos on it. It doesn't seem that amazing. It's, like, it's probably so-so. And so I kind of had it. It was on Game Pass, but, like, some time ago. So I was like, you know what? If it's on Game Pass, and I already have Game Pass, I might as well play it. And I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like it that much because, I've already seen so many videos. Like, the story's mostly spoiled, and the gameplay is like looks so. But then I played it, and like it was actually so good. Like, I actually understood. Like, there was just something, like the way the music pairs with the actual gameplay. I feel like it's just like perfect. Like, I think it just goes really good. Like, it goes really well. Like, the gameplay really meshes with the music. Like when you're doing the boss fights, like the music just like really amps you up. Like, you're just like, you're ready. You're like absolutely just ready for this boss fight because like the music just gets you into it so well. Like, I was doing like, I think my very first run was like a neutral, then I did like the true pacifist run after. And like when I was fighting the boss fight against who's his face? I can't remember a character's names very well. I can't remember his name, but like the guy you fight who's like, I'm not gonna let you do mercy, breaks the mercy button. Like the goat guy, whatever his name is. Like, when you do his boss fight, at the neutral route, like the music is like, it really gets you like into it. Like, you're like, I'm ready to fight this game. I'm ready to fight this guy. Like, I'm pumped to fight this guy. Like, it just like makes the fight so much funner because like you're just so into it thanks to the music. Like, the music is just, it like, and honestly like changed the game for like I feel like it carries the game, which is how good the music feels. Then also, I just think like the characters are like well done and just like really interesting. So honestly, like when I see people say like, Undertale's overrated, I'm like, I honestly wonder like, have they even played the game? Because like I used to think that like, Undertale's probably overrated. Like, I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm not gonna hate on like other people like really hate on the game. But I'm not gonna say I love it because like Undertale just looks like it can't be like that good. Like, it's probably just like super fans overvaluing it. But then I actually played it and I'm like, I understand now. Like, I feel like if you're a gamer, you gotta at least try the game once, because that game was like honestly so good. Like, it was really like, it did a lot better than I was originally expecting it to do. So it was like, man, so good. Like, honestly, that's also what FTL was kind of like. At least when I started making videos for it. Like, I've seen like not many videos. Like, FTL's a little different than Undertale, where I've seen like a decent amount of videos. A lot of videos. FTL, I've only seen like a very small amount. But the small amount of videos I have seen on FTL were like pretty good. So it's like, these videos look so good. It's not, and the game's not that expensive. I got some money, so I'll get it. And then getting it, it was like actually a really good game. It was like much better than I was thinking. I was thinking like, it'll be a decent game. It's not that expensive, so even if it isn't that good, it's not literally that much of a waste of money, dude. And so, but like, it was worth way more than I thought it would be. Like, it was actually such a good game. And I think that's kind of it with like small games. Like, these small kind of indie games, like, they usually, like, they provide way more value for way less than 90% of these AAA games. Like, for example, I'm gonna set, like, how you always have these videos of people are like, I hate videos of people who are like, video games aren't it today, video games just aren't good, which is it's okay. I'm struggling the reason why we struggle to speak to this, because like, I was actually, so there's people who make videos and TikToks or whatever about like, video games just aren't good today. And the way I found out about people like that, about videos like that, is because there's also the counterforce of people making videos about like, those people are stupid for saying video games are bad today. Like, they must not really play games. And while I kind of agree with that, like, yeah, usually the people who are saying games are not bad today usually just play the same AAA like slot games that are like the same game repeatedly. But at the same time, it's kind of like, you're kind of the same problem now. What I mean is like, the people like make these videos like, I'm seeing so many videos of people. I'm seeing so many videos of people saying games are bad nowadays. Like, what are they talking about? But now there's like, so I feel like I'm seeing so many videos of people doing the opposite of being like, games are actually so good. You're stupid for saying games are bad. Now I'm like, aren't you kind of doing the same thing? Like now you're like overdoing it. Now there's like 20 of you. Now there's a bunch of you guys being like, oh, these guys are stupid. Like now there's like a million videos of people saying. Now there's a million videos of people saying like all these people saying video games are bad or stupid. I'm like, now you're kind of becoming like the same thing. Like even though your point may be a little bit more accurate than the guys who say all games are bad, games just aren't it anymore once you get older. Because yes, as videos say, as like those kind of videos say, like yeah, usually people who say games just aren't it today are usually people who just play the same game on repeat, so like they don't really have experience playing other games. But like at the same time, you keep talking about those people so much that in a way you kind of become just like them. You're making those like repeats. You're making those repeat videos. That's why I was like hesitating for a second when I was about to say like, when I was about to start talking about AAA games and why they're worse indie games. I'm like, wait a minute, am I about to be just like those people? But like, just get back to what I was trying to say before I start hesitating. What I was going to say is like, yeah, if you really think about it, like, oftentimes these like more cheap, like 20, 19, 18, something like 15, like, or a few dollar like indie games, are oftentimes a lot better than these like AAA games. Like people like play like these Call of Duties, and they're like $50, and like they're usually like the same game, but like it's sometimes like these small games are like $15 are like usually a million times like a million times better than these like $50, $60 games, despite being only a fraction of the cost. Like for example, what's a good example? Like for example, I was playing a game. I don't remember exactly how much it cost. I think it wasn't too much when I bought it. I was playing a game called .H recently. It was a few months ago. I didn't play it super much, but like when I was playing, it was great. And it's like, so .H is like this roguelike, kind of like this roguelike kind of like colony settlement builder, where like you have these disasters coming, and so like to stop these disasters, what you need to do is like you build a city, like a settlement of these like people. And you have to like make all these buildings to like make food and resources. You have to feed your people or they'll starve. And you also have to like make these buildings that you get through like researching and stuff. And there's also like a roguelike mechanic where you unlock new buildings each run after beating a run. And so what you have to do is you have to make these buildings that can counteract whatever disaster, like cataclysms, can happen. Like for example, when it is like summer. When it becomes like summer, you'll start getting like heat points, and you'll start to get like soon there'll be like a heat disaster, and so to counteract it, you have to like make like swimming pools and stuff. Like you have to like make these swimming pools and like have people man it so that they can like start generating like cold points to stop the disaster from occurring. Or if like for example, like if there's about to be like a sickness disaster, you have to like what you need to do is like, because a sickness disaster is about to happen, like a bunch of sickness points will start to generate. So to counter the sickness disaster, you have to make like cure points or like healthiness points. So you have to like start making like apothecaries and stuff to like stop it. So it kind of like you have to like make this balance of like spending a bunch of resources making buildings that are going to grow your city and like make more resources, make more people, while simultaneously also not spending so much of your resources on building and upgrading that you neglect, making points to stop disasters. You have to like spend resources on disasters while simultaneously constantly expanding your city to be able to deal with bigger and bigger disasters that may come. And so you have like this back and forth game where you have to like make sure you're not expanding too fast, that you're not dealing with disasters, while not expanding too slow, that you can't deal with the bigger disasters that come later in the game. And so it just ended up being like this really like well done, like pretty fun game when I was playing it. Like just like have like especially like getting like down to the wire where it's like in only like a few more days, you know. Because the way the game works is like it's kind of turn based, where each day is a turn. You end the turn after like placing down all your people and like, making all the orders and stuff. So like each day it's gonna end up being like you got 10 days left before the heat disaster comes down. Like you realize like you don't have that many coldness points. You don't have enough coldness points to like 100% like prevent the heat disaster from happening. So you're like rushing. You're like, I gotta get this super big pool built so that I can like generate barely enough coldness points to stop the heat disaster right in time. So it just ends up being really fun. It's very long though, especially that's the one thing I say is like, so it has a roguelike mechanic where like you can unlock new buildings in your next runs by getting a bunch of points in your current run. So you get points in your current run like by beating the disasters, especially if you beat them without getting like a bad event happening. Like if you beat them perfectly and make a good event happen instead of a bad event, you'll get points that go into your progress bar. And you know, you get far enough to progress, you know, you unlock new buildings, like you unlock like fish, you unlock like new elders to retell the story. Because the way the game's like kind of thing is supposed to be is that like the gameplay is like supposed to be the elder like retelling a story of like his civilization, and so you're playing like the retelling, and so like that's why you don't have buildings immediately unlocked. And so the one problem with that roguelike mechanic is while it's cool to like unlock new stuff and it's always satisfying to like unlock new stuff, the problem with it is that also how many buildings are these per mines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's 3 per 2 mines, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is 4, which means I need 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is too many mines actually. I'm making a mistake there. Whoops. I thought I placed too much mines. I was seeing how many mines there. I was like, that's definitely too much. But what I was saying is like the progress mechanic is like satisfying. It feels nice to go towards something. The problem is each round is really long. Like each gameplay is really long because it takes a long time to, you know, get to like the final big major disaster, like the end of the prophecy. And it takes so long to get there that like each run is going to be really long unless you somehow like immediately lose, which honestly, unless you're really bad, I don't really understand how you could lose that game super fast. Because honestly, like, it's not that hard of a game. Like, it's a very fun game, I'll say, but it's also kind of easy. Especially on your first round, like, it's very easy. Like, I did get a little close to the end and almost lost at, like, the very end. But before I got to, like, the very end, it was honestly pretty easy. So, like, you're not really going to be losing super early. Like, at most, if you lose, it's probably going to be really late in the game. Which means you're going to be spending hours and hours on one run. Which kind of makes a roguelike mechanic kind of like, a little, because it's kind of like, oh, I have to spend multiple runs to unlock all the stuff in the game. Like, one run is taking like a whole day. One run's taking like an entire day to do. Like, this is a little long. You telling me I gotta like do it a bunch? Like, though it is somewhat made better by the fact that there's multiple elders that you unlock, which kind of like give new buildings when you play as elder. Like, it kind of changes the playstyle, but it's still not perfect because it can actually take you like a few runs to get to those next elders. Like, for example, like when I beat the game, the game my first try, and even with me beating the game and getting like a lot of good events, I still didn't unlock the second elder. So I have to like play like a second game as like the default elder before I can unlock the second one, which is a little annoying. But it's still fine because like even with that, it doesn't really hurt the game that much because the game is just really nice. It's just really fun is the thing. And so yeah, that's what I mean by like, and that game's like only what 20 something, which is way cheaper than like some $60 Call of Duty that's probably very similar to the previous ones, just a basic shooter game. So that's what I mean, like indie games are usually a lot more valuable. So yeah, when people say like, oh, games just aren't good these days, like, you know they're not an indie game player, dude. You know they don't play indie games, dude. You know they just play Call of Duty or whatever other AAA game. But yeah, like I was feeling a little cringe saying that though. Like as I mentioned before, the reason also I almost didn't say like start talking about indie games is that it does feel a little cringe to be like, man, in AAA games aren't the good ones. You know, the reason why people don't like games is just like because they don't play any games. I do feel a little cringe saying that because like just like those people in those videos who keep making videos about people making videos about people not liking games. It's kind of making like this cycle where like people make all these videos about not liking games, and then you start making a bunch of people making videos about people not liking games and why it's stupid that they say that, and then you just make like this cycle. Like you're becoming just like them. Like you making a bunch of videos complaining about people not liking games, you're just like the people making a bunch of videos complaining about why they don't like games. Like you're being just like them in a way. But not the exact same, but similar. But yeah, anyways, to get past that, because I'm starting to like monologue. To get past it. So what else was I gonna say? So to talk about what's the other thing? I'm starting to blink for a second. I'm blinking. I'm really blinking. Oh yeah, I know what I was saying. The thing I was planning on talking about. So, when I was recently on this Thanksgiving trip. You know, I was having the usual, you know, on this trip to relatives. I was having like usual, you know, turkey, potatoes. There's casseroles and bread and such. And so, I did this completely wrong. Whoops. How do I do this? And so, after I had all that food, I was playing like a card game with my relatives. Like what? It was Rummy. I don't know if you know the game. It's just like Rummy is like this card game. For those who don't know, it's a card game where like you like get like 7 or like 13 cards or whatever, and with those cards, what does this do? Oh yeah, so you get like. Why is this not going like this? What am I doing wrong here? Am I doing something wrong? Wait a minute. Am I stupid? Why do I have a thing? I was like, why? This is gonna be a problem. Why do I have a coal line pumping coal into my mines that are electric powered? What? Oh yeah, but getting back to Rum. It's like Rummy's a game where you start with like 7 to 13 cards. Like something like that. It's like start with like 7 to 13 cards. And with those cards, you have to match three of the same kind or make like straights. Which essentially what you need to do is you will I still actually need this to be a splitter, just not connected down here. So like what you do is like if you have like 3 threes or like 4 threes, because it also doesn't have to be exactly 3, it just has to be at least 3. So if you have like 4 threes, 3 threes or whatever, or 3 sevens or whatever, you can like place those down to get points, or like 3 kings. Or what you do is if you have like a straight of like all the same suit, like if you have like a king, if you have a jack, queen, king of their all spades, or like a if you have like 2, 3, 4 of like hearts or whatever, you can also place those down to get points. And so like I was playing that game, and like man, I gotta tell you, like people are getting a little heated. People get a little heated playing that game. Like, so essentially one of the other mechanics of the game is that you don't just place down cards like your own triple threes and straights make points. What you also do is you place cards on people's cards that they've placed. What I mean, like, let's say you have because if you're playing with one deck, there's only going to be 4 of each card, like 4 fours, 4 kings, or whatever, if you're playing with like one deck. So what happened is, like, if let's say somebody places down triple threes, someone places down like 3 threes down to get some points, and then you go and place down, what was I doing here? And then you go and place and you still have a 4 in your hand. You have a 4, and you're like, oh, not 3. Like, they place down 3 threes, you have a 3 in your hand. You're like, okay, I have the 4th 3, but I can't obviously get 3 threes. It's physically not possible for you to make a pair of, like, a triple 3-3, because the other person's already played the 3 of the 4 threes. What you're able to do is that if somebody's already played a thing, you can place on top of that. Like, you know, if they've already... Also, I still need to fix this. I don't know how to, though. Yeah, if somebody's already played, how do I fix this? What am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong here? Okay, give me a second before I get back to the story. I gotta realize what I'm doing wrong. What am I doing wrong? Why can these not connect to the right thing? Huh? What am I doing wrong? Maybe what I need to do is... No, not like that. So this... It's a bit of a problem, a bit of a pickle. Oh, no. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. What am I doing? Also, why is my power not on? But yeah, I guess while I'm walking down here, I can explain the rest of the story. So if you can place, like, if somebody's placed down a 2, 3, 4 of spades, and you have like the 5 of spades, you can place down the 5 of spades like on top of their thing. But you're not actually placing on top of it; you're placing on your side. But you can like say like, oh, I'm placing, you know, the 5 of spades on top of their 4 of spades to like get you self points. But one of the things is one of the reasons why I call rummy is like essentially like, there's this thing you could do where, if for example somebody, like when you discard a card, because essentially every turn you can discard. You have to draw a card from either the discard pile or the draw pile. You draw one card, you'll do whatever you need to do, and then you discard a card. If you discard a card that can be played on one of the things that's already been played, like for example, if somebody's played a 2, 3, 4 of spades, and you discard a 5 of spades, and it goes to somebody else's turn, and somebody sees that that's in the discard pile, you can slam down, be like rummy, and steal the 5 of spades and go ahead and play it down immediately. And go ahead and play it down immediately on your side for points. So, like, the reason why people get aggressive is, like, I was telling you, at that table, I was playing at, like, if you accidentally place down, like, a card that could have been played, the people at that table, they're screaming down, dude. They're like, Robbie! And, like, they're slamming that table like crazy, dude. Also, they were getting, like, aggressive because, like, we had to, like, I don't know how, like, it's supposed to officially be played, but, like, the way you are supposed to call rummy, I don't know how it's officially be played, but, like, the way we were calling rummy is that you, instead of, like, actually grabbing the card, you would just need to say rummy. And the reason why is because, like, apparently, because I eventually haven't played rummy very much. So, like, my family would oftentimes... Apparently, because I don't really play as much. I didn't play as much as my family does. They would be like, if you grab the card whoever grabs the card first gets rummy. But because we were playing with other relatives, and like we were playing at this big table, where like, you know, different people would be different links away from the deck, and you know, where like the discard, you know, there's the idea of like, hey, it wouldn't really be fair for like the rule of like who gets rummy to be whoever grabs it first, because some people are farther away from the deck or might have like shorter arms. That's not fair. Instead, we should have it be just, you know, whoever Just whoever says it first to make it more fair for the people like different sections of the table. The thing about that though is like some people are going to. The thing about that is like some people were being a little. They're being a little. Is that some people like they were great with that rule. Like some people like there's a certain relative on the table like they wanted that rule because you know they were the person farther away. But the problem is they were farther away, so they wanted that to be the rule. The problem is like I tell you the second that we moved chairs like the next day after, and we played rummy again like the next day. The second we moved chairs, and they were actually closer to the deck than everybody else, and they could like grab the deck way easier than everybody else. Now all of a sudden they want to be grabbing the card like they were screaming rummy and. They didn't say rummy first. I said rummy first, but they grabbed it first. And they're like, well, because I grabbed it first, you know, I should get it. And so like that started a whole thing where it's like, no, the rule we made is whoever says it first gets it. Because we literally made this rule, we changed the rules for you because you were the farthest one away from the deck yesterday. So you were complaining when somebody grabbed the card before you that like you can't reach it, which I think is like that's fair. Okay, that's fair. You know, you actually can't reach it. I think that's a fair assessment. But like you can't start changing it now. Like you can't change the thing we literally changed for you. You can't just start changing it back now that it doesn't benefit you because you're closer to the deck. Like you can't just do that. And so like they were getting a little crazy. They were getting a little heated. Like they're getting a little heated about this. What is that? A big spitter? Oh my god! There's a whole nest down there. What in the world? What's a big spitter? I've legitimately never seen that before. I've never gotten far enough in the game. The biggest thing I've seen is like a regular spitter. What is this big spitter? This looks really bad. This thing is really close to my base, and I don't got a single turret or nothing. This is looking a little bad. They're also getting really close. Like, they're slowly getting closer and closer, dude. Oh, no? Please, Oh, my God, they're killing the turret so fast. That turret is literally near completely dead. What in the world, dude? No, my turret! They killed... Oh, my God, I'm dying. Well, guys, you know the rule. Like I said in my very first video where I had to restart, you know, I'm not going to hit that respawn button. You know, the reason why I made this world on super high level difficulty, like I made the insects, you know, super high level, is to make the game harder. You know, it's not going to be, and the game's not going to be hard if I just respawn. Like, if I die, you know, it's like hardcore, dude. That's going to be it. It's really unfortunate that this is it, because I didn't even know I was dying. Are you telling me those guys just shoot gigantic acid puddles, and if you step in it, you immediately die? I had armor, didn't I? How did I die that quickly? Like, I saw a green bar going down, and I thought that was the turret taking damage again. I didn't know I was dying until the last second, and I died. I died so fast. What even was that, dude? I've literally never seen that insect before. That thing killed me so quick. Also, how did they make an outpost so close to my base with me just now noticing? Dude, I was standing here for a little bit of time. How am I just now noticing that they were there? That's a little unfortunate. But, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. And hopefully next video I'll do a little better. Hey, you know, it's honestly good to restart, because maybe this time I'll make the power drill quicker than like an hour. Well, that's going to be the end of this video. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe. And remember the moral lesson of this video. Don't play rummy with people, dude. Some people get aggressive playing when you play rummy, dude. Don't be like my relative Don't be like my relative who tried to change the rules mid-game because the rules no longer worked for them when we literally changed the rules previously to fit them. Don't be that kind of person, okay? Well, bye. Hopefully next video will be better.